Well, hello, you bearded bastards, and welcome back once again to our Lust of Fun, the Scorchfountain, where we find ourselves at the 19th of Slate in the year 1182, mid-spring of our 19th year here in the fortress. Things are still going extremely smoothly around here. Currently, we're taking a little bit of a downtime. We've been doing a whole heck of a lot of work here in the fortress, and we figured the dwarves deserved some rest. Certainly after dealing with that stink and all those corpses out in the caverns, that was a bit of a problem. We decided not to go out there anymore. In fact, we've banned the second layer. Just gonna have to let that stink dissipate on its own, I suppose. We were actually a bit worried about the mental state of our dwarves after seeing such bloody carnage out there, but I think we'll come back from that. Not too concerned about it quite yet. Anyways, at the cusp of a new year, dwarves, 1182 now. We do have some plans for this upcoming year, and so let's get down to business. We'll start out by outlining some of these plans. Well, first and foremost, what I would just dearly love to do is come over this way here to the far, far east, and once again bring some attention to the goblin cave of the named Echoes, the apparent hub of the hate of dominating, a goblin civilization, and our sworn rival. Now, this is their only remaining holdout, and I would just dearly love to come in here and wreck the place, but with just 40, possibly 50 dwarves, I don't know if that's going to be feasible. And so, I really do think we have to start training up some horned beetles. I don't know how they'll perform in combat, but, well, we gotta hope they do pretty good because we're going out to attack this place no matter what. Remember, too, that they don't have a demon leader, not like many other goblin civilizations. Their leader was killed by a horned beetle many hundreds of years ago. So that should make things a bit easier. That being said, we do have to prepare ourselves first, and we can start by training those beetles. In the meantime, we do have some other places we could attend to. Remember, I had recently mentioned 2 human civilizations, gonna put that in quotes, because I only just realized they aren't civilizations at all. Down here, just to our southeast, we have the human hillocks of Cloak Bronze. Now, this place is owned by the Sable Moistness, who we are currently skirmishing with. I don't know if they've sent forces after us yet. If they have, it was probably in the form of one of those early zombie sieges. I say that because this group isn't a human civilization, but it's a group of bandits, led by a necromancer. I had mistaken it for a human civilization because they control such vast swaths of land. But nope, just an extremely powerful bandit gang that I'm pretty sure we can crush in fairly short order. So, what the hell? I think we'll start out with these guys. Let's give it a try, huh? We're gonna send some groups out, and we're just gonna be trying to raise these places once again. We don't have any interest in controlling these human hillocks, frankly. Better off to just have them demolished. We're going to start out by sending all 40 of our raiders against a single settlement, just to see what these people are made of. I don't think they're gonna be that strong, but there's no sense in being foolish about it. If this one attack goes well, then we might end up splitting up our troops again. We'll play it by ear. I really only have a good amount of faith in Lorbam Etenfo as the leader of our squads. Not too sure how the other squad leaders will do, but again, we'll play it by ear. Oh, we can see some of the raiders carrying some nice reading material with them. Questionable, but I suppose a dwarf can make use of some good reading material out on the road. And while they're away, I would like to turn your attention over here, where we can see this cage being moved down into the fortress. An enormous wooden cage, inside of which is an Etten. That's right, yes, another Etten. Isn't that something? Yes, we were attacked just like a week ago or something. This stupid thing bumbled into our fortress and stumbled directly into this wooden cage, pretty much like that last Etten. Now I figured this would make another excellent sacrifice to our volcano home. Of course, I'm sure you were thinking much the same thing, but we have to do it with a bit more panache than we have been. Wouldn't be right just to upend the cage into the lava, and so we are preparing a bit of a structure up on the surface. If you have a look over top of the forge, you can see these 4 structures, just very stubby at the time being. But what we're hoping to do is kind of make some slanted stone supports, at the top of which will be a small chamber. And from that chamber we'll be dropping our sacrifices down. We still don't have many more details in place other than that. Like, I don't really know what this chamber is going to look like or anything, but we'll figure it out as it goes on. It's going to take a while too. We'll just keep tooling around on it in the background. No worries. And with that, it looks like our warriors have returned already. That was pretty quick. Well, let's see how they did. Mission report, raise Cloak Bronze. Okay, they head down to the place. We were able to outmatch them. And there were a whole bunch of animated goblin corpses there, seemingly. I kind of thought that might happen. This criminal cabal might be pretty powerful, actually. Hoping that doesn't turn out to be a problem. And since we now have them back, how about we send them out once again? Gonna head farther to the east here to Shell Trades. The same exact deal on this one. Still trying to get a feel for these guys. And while they're off and away, how about we start training up some of our beetles? Now, before we do anything with that, a little bit of an explanation. I personally think these beetles are actually going to be pretty formidable in combat. But there's one big problem with these guys, and it's that they need to eat moss. And a good amount of it. And that's going to lead to problems. It's going to get kind of finicky, you know? We're going to have all these dwarves running around, all these beetles running around, and I have a feeling it's going to be pretty easy to get them to, like, starve to death. And I don't want that at all, so I'm thinking the best thing we could possibly do is just have one of our squads be assigned with beetles. To start, anyways. We'll see how that goes. And if it goes well enough, then I suppose we just go crazy with it. Now, having a look at our beetles, we're just going to be training up the males for combat. Gotta use the females for breeding purposes. And we'll start off with 10 of the males. We have to get Asen here, our animal trainer, to head down there and do his stuff. He's not the best animal trainer around, but he's the best we got. He's actually the one that trained that rock. The one that we ended up butchering there. Not too sure how he feels about that whole thing, honestly. I'm hoping the ordeal wasn't too traumatizing for the guy. Fun fact, Asen is married and has 2 children here in Scorchfountain, and his wife is one of our flail dwarves. They're a good little clan, and I'm glad we finally get to meet them. Anyways, he's down here in the pasture now, training up a war beetle. Fairly straightforward process, I would imagine. Training the creature how to behave properly around our warriors, how to pin enemies to the ground and pinch them fiercely with its mandibles. Oh yeah, there we go. These will be some fearsome creatures indeed. Here's hoping they do a good job aiding our warriors. Oh, also yes, note that the beetles are still down here in this smelly old pasture. A damn shame, because we do have that nice one up in the fortress. Well, you know, I put some thought into it, and now I'm thinking we could just put the war beetles in this one. Keep the others down below. We do want a lot of beetles, and I would hate for any of these pens to become overgrazed. Could be a real problem, you know? Yeah, I think this will work out. And here we go. The warriors have returned once again. Let's have a look. Okay, they slowly head down to the southeast. Arrive. Ep.12 once again outmatches them with a cunning plan. And the combat ensues. I'm seeing a bunch of goblins, a bunch of dwarves. And it looks like we lost a couple of our warriors. That's not good. 2 warriors fell in that fighting. Both slain by dwarves. So yes, there were a bunch of goblins here, but also dwarves. Remember, this is a bandit gang, so it's pretty likely it's just a big conglomeration of races. Criminals come in a variety of flavors, it seems. Also noting the extreme amount of dogs that were here, seemingly. Dogs that were sent against our warriors. It looks like we had to fight at least 43 dogs. Maybe this was some sort of a breeding facility, a kennel perhaps? Well, in any event, we were able to destroy Shell Trades. And actually, you know, normally I skip over it, but we can see our spoils report here. And yeah, most of the stuff we got is just kind of garbage, but we were able to get a bunch of animals too. And some of the animals we got back were horn beetles. 5 horn beetles. A respectable amount. Now, we may have lost 2 warriors, but we may have just gained 5 more horn beetles that can be trained as warriors. Yes, we'll have to be giving that a try, I think. Okay, now just getting our last couple of horn beetles all trained up. Shouldn't take too long. Actually, that was kind of adorable. Asen walks into the pasture here and all the horn beetles come running over. Excited to see their trainer, I guess. Yeah, I guess they're pretty cute, aren't they? The big bugs. And while we get these last couple of beetles trained, I think we should decide what squad is going to be commanding these things. I didn't really want to give them to the Dreamy Urns at first. The Dreamy Urns being the squad led by Ep.12, because that's already our most powerful squad. But, what the hell. I'm gonna assign the beetles to them. But there are a lot of considerations to take into account. From what I understand, if you assign a beetle to a warrior, and that warrior ends up dying, then that beetle can't be reassigned. It will have already bonded so much with that warrior that it'd just be impossible. Additionally, if a warrior does end up being a problem and we have to expel them from the fortress, or just from the military, then the same applies. We won't be able to reuse that beetle. So originally I was going to give each of the warriors a beetle, but on second thought, it might just be best to put all of our eggs in one extremely durable basket. It could be risky, but I think it will be worthwhile. For now, I'm going to assign all of the beetles to Ep.12, our most reliable warrior by far. And I suppose after he has the beetles, he can decide what he wants to do with them. Just like this. Easy enough. 10 war-trained horn beetles. Lead them well, Ep.12. This will be a new challenge, but I believe you're up to it. Okay, all the beetles are currently in this pasture, so I'm going to unassign them. And now that they're unassigned, I'm going to send the warriors out once again. Alrighty, let's have a look here. Well, we have this place over here to the east. It says there's about 30 individuals here. I don't know if there's any zombies or anything. That's usually not taken into account in that number, but we'll have a stab at it. Good luck, warriors, beetles included. Really hoping they do well. I'm very excited to see. Turning our attention back up to the forge, our construction's coming along. It's now 1, 2, 3, almost 4 Z levels tall. A few more levels to go before we start in that chamber. Down in the fortress, things are still going extremely smoothly. Actually, we just recently had to kick out our manager because they were throwing tantrums. Unlike a warrior dwarf, we couldn't just take them out of the military, so honestly, I'm not too sure what else we could do for the guy. So yeah, you're out of here, troublemaker. And in their place, we put Datan, the giant. She's actually a competent organizer, so I think she's going to do pretty well at the task. In fact, I'm sure of it. And as for other fortress news, down over here we have Dodak Beetle Baby Regsalab, 17 years old now, and just recently married to Fikod, her boyfriend, eldest son of Winx. I thought that was something very exciting. There haven't been many marriages in the fortress, so it's good to see. Best wishes to you two. May it be a long and prosperous union. Down here we have Dishmab, our longtime cook, preparing some lavish meals. And recently he's been digging into some of that preserved rock meat from that rock we had butchered quite a while back. And I'll tell you what, just out of extreme curiosity, I want to see what he's been cooking. Let's have a look. Here we are. A stack of 4 exceptionally prepared rock meat roasts. The ingredients are finely minced dog tripe, exceptionally minced prepared dog spleen, superiorly minced dog sweetbread. Yeah, I guess we've been eating a lot of dogs lately. And of course the main piece, some exceptionally minced rock meat. Certainly got your protein with this one. Looking good, Dishmab, keep it up. Now having a look over here at our prison hall, you can see this chamber, the chamber in which our vampires are held. And these two are not doing well at all. Shouldn't be totally surprising though, I guess. They've been locked in here for a very long time. They are still lovers, but their time in here has taken a serious toll on both of their mental states. Note the many teeth lying about the ground. Both of them have been throwing tantrums lately, and every once in a while they get a bit physical. And the dwarves can hear it out in the fortress too. I have to imagine they're getting a bit concerned, really. I mean, they're blood-sucking monsters to be sure. But it's just distressing having them around here. We might have to figure out a solution. Who could have ever thought we'd feel bad for them? Ridiculous, but it's the case nonetheless. Looks like our warriors have returned. Let's see how they did. Mission report, raise many palace. Okay, they head out swiftly. We were able to outmatch them. Combat began. Our warriors seem to have a good upper hand, slaying goblins left and right. Very good. Come on, let's get to those horn beetles, huh? Oh yeah, here we go. Oh boy. Actually, it's looking pretty rough in there. It looks like we lost some dwarves. But yeah, the horn beetles were able to do something. At least. And ultimately, we were able to destroy the place. But at what cost? Let's have a look at our squads. Yeah, looking a bit rough, unfortunately. We're down 5 dwarves, which may not sound that bad, but that's about 1/8 of our entire military, just trying to take on that one tiny place. Yeah, that's not good news at all. However, what we do have for good news is that none of our beetles were killed. We still have all 10 of our war beetles, and so I'm thinking we should continue training them. Maybe we can get to the point where we have so many beetles going into combat that we could just overwhelm anything. That'd be nice. We are still going to replace those empty spots in our military, though. We're gonna let some time pass right now, take care of some stuff in the fortress, train up some new beetles, and find some warrior replacements. In just a moment, we'll be right back. Alrighty, here we go, we are back. And with some good news. We've been allowed to have a little bit of downtime here. A couple months have passed. It's taken a while to get things in order, but it's for the best. If you have a look down this way at our war horn beetle pasture, you can see some dwarves bringing some new war-trained horn beetles to their new home. Isn't that nice? Now we have 20 of them, which is just excellent. Now what to do with them? I could keep assigning them to Lorbam, but I don't think that's quite the best idea. So instead, I have decided to assign them to a different squad leader. Another extremely durable basket for us to put our eggs in. Mafal, leader of the warm basements. He has an extremely good head on his shoulders and is a decent leader. Not quite as skilled as Etenfo, but he could hold his own if it came down to it. Yeah, we're gonna give him 10 beetles of his own. Just like this. Wonderful. Command them with great vigor, Mafal. Now then, 20 war-trained horn beetles and 40 warriors. And you know what? I'm gonna say they're ready for action. So let's do it. Okay, let's see here. Going to zoom out a tad. And so this is what we're working with. We've cleared that bandit gang away from our eastern side now, and their only remaining holdouts are far to the west, but they're pretty densely packed over there. Much more dense than that human civilization. So, I mean, yeah, let's just get to it. No sense yakking about it, I suppose. He has a whole bunch of choices this way, but I suppose the best thing we could do is just start hacking away. Go get 'em, beetles. It's very cool to see that pasture empty out like that. Big fan. Really hoping they just crush that place flat. I can't see why they wouldn't. And you know, while the warriors are away, I figured we can take a second and peruse our library down here to see if we could find any helpful information about the Sable Moistness, that bandit gang we're up against. I think it would serve us well to know a little bit more about them. Okay. A human bandit gang from the universes of wonder. Maybe it started out being primarily run by humans. Well, let's see. It started up in 444 by the human necromancer Jal Cactus Seized. That was about 600 years ago. Fairly impressive. Well, they must have been a pretty tiny gang for over 100 years, but in 574 they'd begun attacking other settlements. Quite a few of them, actually. Yeah, looks like they lashed out, destroying some settlements, burning books. Looks like they took some prisoners as well. Wow, what the heck? Yeah, looks like 574 was the year they kind of burst onto the world stage. It also looks like they stole a whole bunch of artifacts. We'll have to see if we can pick up any of those. Yeah, they raised a bunch of hell in 574. Then in 581, they raised some more hell. Not quite as much. 586, 87, and 88, they continued their attack. But then this is interesting. Their attacks continued pretty consistently up till 599, when they attacked and destroyed quite a few settlements right off the bat, razed everything they took over to the ground, and then they began burning books. A lot of books. Like a real lot. Hundreds upon hundreds of books. Burning them all. And the books they're burning don't seem to be centered around any one subject. Just every book they could find, apparently. They were all destroyed. Wow, that's impressive. I haven't seen anything like that before. I imagine these bandits must just revel in chaos and general disorder. They want to see civilization burn, I think. Well, it's probably good we're wiping them out then. Chaos like that will not flourish in Baron Moldath's Orid Ashi. They must be stopped. Continuing to look through their history, after the great destruction of all those books, they pretty much continued on with their antics, but still were burning books when they could. Hold up now. A blood-curdling yell has been heard in our prison hall, from the vampire chamber. It seems Arab, the male vampire, has gone berserk. Things are about to get extremely ugly in there. Burr is jumping away, but she's up against a wall now. Oh, and she's taking some hits. They appear to be grappled. Looks like Arab is trying to strangle Burr. The fool. I'm sure he knows that vampires don't have to breathe. Well, Burr's taking advantage and beating the hell out of Arab. Oh yeah. Oh, big time. Blood everywhere. Oh yeah, what a mess. Yeah, Burr is taking some serious advantage in there. Oh, would you look at that? She ended up putting him down. Well, that really is something, isn't it? Like, I don't really want to congratulate her. We have to remember she killed 6 of our dwarves. But still, that was quite a display. Good job, I guess, Burr. We might have to start thinking of something to do with her. It's already pretty darn impressive she's lasted this long. Yeah, very interesting. Anyways, it looks like our warriors have returned. Eager to see how they performed. Let's have a look. Rather boring attack, actually. There wasn't much there. Lame. Well, when you get down to it, it's probably for the best. Those last couple of places were a little tough, so maybe we're hitting some easier territory now. It's good news, really. Now, while we still have the warriors around, I would like to point out a couple things. For one, over this way here, we can see Lorbam. Slug, who is once again part of our military and has been for a little bit now. We were kind of in a bind and we needed someone to fill the spot, so I figured, what the heck, we can give her a second try. And I gotta say, she's been performing admirably. She's not the best warrior, she's really not, but she's a lot quicker than she was back in the day. I still don't know what was going on with that. Maybe she was just having an off day or something. I also think it might have to do with her having some training now, and she's a bit more used to wearing this armor. I think that may have something to do with it. In any event, she's doing much better these days. And she even got married to Ral, one of the flail dwarves. I'm real glad to see it. I think having so much downtime recently has been good for the fortress. And still on the subject of marriage, over here you can see Lorbam. A different Lorbam. This is Etenfo, who was just recently married. I gotta say, I did not peg this guy for the marriage type, but here he is. And his wife is Melbil, his second in command in the dream he earns. Again, it's something I'm really happy to see. Surprised to see. Certainly. We gotta assume it has something to do with this recent downtime. Yeah, you know what? I think that's a good idea. We're gonna have a little rest right now, actually. Don't want to tire our warriors out too much. That wouldn't be smart. And so with that in mind, we can have a look over here at the forge, where you can see those 4 supports. Yes, remember those? We've been working this entire time. And if we look upwards, just a couple levels here, you can see the Sacrificial chamber at the top. Looking very nice. Now, something I want to address just real quick. I'm sure you've noticed, this window down here isn't quite right. The windows in here are red zircon and clear zircon, but I don't know, we just can't get this one down here to match for some reason. We've taken out a couple times, just kind of, redid the gems, but something's still not quite right about it. I'm not too sure what the deal is, and I'm tired of messing with it. It's just gonna look weird, okay? Anyways, yes, this chamber is complete. Looking up, you can see it's 2 Z levels tall. It has a nice roof on top of it too, to prevent that rain from getting in. There is a hole in the floor leading down to the lava, and around that hole you can see a couple of altars as well as some statues. We actually decided to make this into a temple, where they worship Aker, the god of war, and the fortress's symbol. I figured it'd be appropriate. Now note, next to the hole in the floor here, we have assigned a cage to be built. And yes, that cage is holding the end. Just waiting for it to get into place now. Shouldn't take much longer. Oh dear. Oh, emergency. It looks like a magma crab has worked its way up through our magma forge. Something that's never happened before. Oh no, and having a look up, there are a couple more on their way down too. This is not great. At all. Yeah, I don't like the looks of this. This is extremely dangerous. A magma crab can easily set a dwarf on fire, and fighting one this close to magma is suicidal, because a dwarf can easily be pushed into that magma, but, I'm not too sure we have a choice here. Damn it all. Okay, let's give it a try, see what happens. Tactics are not an option. We're just gonna try to bull rush the thing and hope for the best. Taking things slowly for now. Oh, there's magma being shot through the air. This is extremely dangerous. We have a bow dwarf on scene, shooting arrows, seeing more magma flying down the hall. We have some foolish flail dwarves jumping straight over the magma pools here. I see some fire. Arel has made it to the combat. He has engaged the magma crab. Oh, be careful, Silent, please. Damn it. The dwarf has gone into the magma, speeding things up here. It's real hard to tell what's going on here. Just a whole bunch of smoke. Although it looks like Arel's fine. Excellent. Damn, man, yeah, real hard to tell what happened there. But I think there were a couple of deaths. Damn, and those other ones are coming down too. I stationed the blue bows nearby. I'm hoping they can successfully fight the things. Oh, just pure chaos in here now. We have crabs popping up out of the magma, globs of lava flying through the air, smoke everywhere. Yeah, this is real ugly, not a big fan. More crabs are up, it's hard to tell what's going on here. Utter chaos. But geez, looks like those crabs were taken care of. At least. Man. Oh no. Damn it all. Yeah, we lost a couple dwarves. Including Winx. She fought valiantly against one of the crabs, holding it down. I'm not too sure what happened, but I think she got caught on fire. Must have been hit by one of those magma globs. Her corpse is intact. I don't like what we're about to try, but we're trying it. Over here in the anvil. Yes, remember this chamber? It's still already from those many years ago. Somebody's bringing Winx's corpse up to this room, and I think Moldath's on his way too. This didn't work so well back in the day, but this time we're going to be much quicker. So here's hoping for the best. I really don't want to lose that dwarf. Nobody does. Okay, here we go. Moldath is in the room, and here comes the dwarf with that corpse. Alright, here we go. Fingers crossed, everyone. Whoa, okay, so that worked. Was not expecting it. Oh, it's so cool. Well, is she good? I guess she's good. She just walked away. Well, wow. Yeah, this seems extremely messed up. She definitely burned to death, because a lot of her fat is melted off and she doesn't have any clothing on. I think she's on her way to pick up some clothing right now. Yeah, this feels pretty messed up, but she's back. Okay. Yeah, not too sure how I feel about this. Conflicted, I guess. Okay, yeah, well, we got her back, everyone. It's time to celebrate. we'll just let her get situated again. I'm so happy that worked. Wow, that's pretty darn cool, actually. Oh yeah, she's got some soap here, cleaning up at the old well, cleaning up all that burnt tissue, I guess. That's something. Yeah. Hey, Magma Crabs, don't do that anymore, please? God, that was bad. Yeah, we lost a couple warriors in that, one of the blue bows, and a member of the warm basements. Ugh. But, I mean, we didn't lose our best armorer, so that's good. Oh, but we lost her husband. Her husband was killed in that fighting. Oh, and they have 2 children, too. Man, that's rotten luck. Oh, and that's something there. Aral, the Silent, he played a pretty big part in that fighting. And it looks like, he must have been caught on fire at some point, but survived, because he's looking pretty ragged. Every single bit of his fat is gone. Everything. So, like, probably most of his skin and stuff, I suppose. Oh, that is messed up. I mean, the guy wasn't too pretty in the first place, but... man. I guess the forage area is a little dangerous. Gonna have to figure out a solution on that. Well, that whole thing dampened the mood around here, huh? We were doing pretty darn well up to that incident. Can we even really enjoy throwing this Etten down into the volcano now? Well, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to try. Ooh, there she goes. Oh, no. It's pretty cruel, I guess. Gotta keep in mind, though, this thing wanted to destroy our dwarves. Hey, do me a favor while you're down there, Etten, and kill any magma crabs you see. That'd be great. Good riddance, you bastard. Praise be to Scorchfountain. A sacrifice to you, mighty mountain. Now then, the Etten is successfully melted, and so we can now turn our attention to the man of the hour, Moldath, who we haven't checked in on in a little bit. You'll note straight off the bat that he's doing extremely well, and has been for some time now. Pretty much since that king was melted. Yes, Moldath is now 100% stress-free, and really I do not know what caused this, but here he is. Something happened, and these days he's feeling fine, apparently. It's extremely good to see. But I think we can improve that farther, honestly, by unveiling his new home. That's right. Just over here you can see a ramp that leads upwards, up this long, winding spiral passage that leads all the way up to here. Yes, that's right, we've made an appropriate quarters for our beardless baron. Right up here in this mound, the mound that is dubbed the Sun. It is extremely spacious and lavishly appointed with the finest of furniture. Plenty of statues, cabinets, tables, chairs, everything a dwarf could want. He has his own personal temple up here, complete with engraved walls. Up farther we can see his ridiculously enormous banquet hall, complete with amethyst windows. And up even farther we have his bedroom. Bunch of statues, some bags, a lounge area. Certainly gets a job done. Finally an appropriate area for him to call home. But if you have a look up even farther, one more space, you can see another bedroom. And we have plans for this, because recently our Baron has had a little project in mind. And that project may involve a certain blood-sucking monster over in our prison hall. Yeah, she's still hanging in there. But we're gonna have to save that till next time. Assuming she survives, that is. Yes, that's going to do it for now. Scorchfountain remaining ever strong, even in the midst of conflict with the staple moistness. It's a conflict that will surely rage for years to come, but also one, Acker willing, we will be the victor in. Praise be to Scorchfountain, Acker, and our beardless baron. Well, hello, you bearded bastards, and welcome to the end of the episode once again, where we'll be talking about some behind-the-scenes things. Well, first, right off the bat, regarding the horn beetles and their design. Okay, well, some of you may have found them kind of familiar. I have no doubt that quite a few of you have played the game Hollow Knight. Maybe you see where I'm going with this already. There's a character in the game called the Nailsmith. Gonna pop a picture of the guy up on the screen right here. Yeah, have a look at that. Very familiar. Gonna be completely frank with you guys. I have never played Hollow Knight. I've never seen this character before, and it only came to my attention a couple of weeks ago. But it's pretty mind-blowing, isn't it? It's definitely a horn beetle. I don't even know how that happened. Blue, it's got a beard, for God's sake. What the hell is that? It's bizarre is what it is. And actually the strangest thing I think is that only one person so far in the comments has mentioned this resemblance. I don't know much about this character, as I said. Maybe it's not a big part of the game or something, but I don't know. I figured anybody who sees it would be like, oh yeah, it's definitely a horn beetle. Just weird. Crazy coincidence. In reality, I based the design off this ring that I've had for quite some time. I was trying to come up with some sort of a creature to add into my Dwarf Fortress series, happened to be walking by my little knick-knack shelf, saw this ring, and figured, what the hell, why not? Looked up some pictures of beetles, and they kind of have that furry stuff on their undersides, called setae or something like that. So I figured, why not add a beard? I don't know. It's just weird. Yeah, crazy coincidence. Also, I want to point out Moldath and his recent stress changes. I really don't know what caused that. I have no idea. He just started improving for some reason and got all the way better. We didn't do anything different, though, was the thing. He's just kind of been miserably schlumping around the fortress for years now, and then all of a sudden he's just like, oh, I don't want to be miserable anymore. I'm done. I'll be good now. I mean, I'm thankful. Absolutely. Also, Winx, I guess, is a damned one now. She was one of my favorite dwarves, and still not too sure how I feel about it. It's kind of badass, but is it better than losing her outright? I don't know. Time will tell. It's good to know that trick still kind of works. I guess you just have to be really quick with that whole process. That last time we tried that with Moldath, those corpses were pretty old. That's probably the explanation there. Also, I forgot to mention in the episode, but Moldath did not freak out and panic this time he saw that zombie. This time he was totally cool, and I think it's because he has some military training now. Yet, not a lick of stress this time. The guy is a mental rock. It's good to see, certainly. Now it's time to wrap it up, I suppose. And that being the case, I gotta thank you for joining me today. I certainly hope you enjoyed yourselves, and I double certainly hope you'll join me next time here in Athlestzafon, Scorchfountain. And until then, my bearded bastards.